Here we go. It's the YouTube channel, fans. We're on the air with the Lowdown. Now, basically, we're going to give you the lowdown on the entire FSW. Future stars of wrestling, Arizona, Las Vegas, around the world. We got a lot of information to give them. Dino, also, Dino Dinelli, he's going to be on every week with me, and he's got his own segment coming up. Tell them a little about it. Dino's Diner.
Jack, on Dino's Diner, I'm going to ask the questions that have the real grit to it, the real nitty-gritty, the questions that the fans want to hear deep down inside.
Woo! Down by the balls. That's what he's saying. Fans, that's where the real stuff's going to happen. It's all right here on the Lowdown. We've got more segments with you. Also, we've got the big units going to be on the show. We've got special guests coming in and out. But first things first, let's get down to the serious business. We just had the title changeover, and now it's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life, Tyshawn Prince, and his manager, Sally.
Well, there was no doubt this guy was going straight to the top. And when he added Sally to the mix, it was a done deal. Love Alcatraz. Think he's a great man, a great shape, and I think he'll be back. But Tyshawn Prince, I have to say at this point, Jack, is unstoppable.
Yeah, definitely. Biggest man I've ever seen, and I've been around this business for a little piece of time. Fans, we're going to have some more information about it. Also, you know what? We got some more breaking news. You know, they call it Future Stars of Wrestling for a reason, and that's because you can see the future right here. And you know who's looking into the future? TNA. That's right. You know why? Because they just signed Kenny King. That's right, a member of the Hater Nation, one of your favorite tag teams. Huh?
No doubt.
Also, fans, we just saw Sean Ricker made a little bit of a splash in an Orlando pool there last Thursday. Remy Marcel, well, you might have saw him, just a little peek of him there at SummerSlam, but these fans are, these wrestlers right here at Future Stars of Wrestling, they're busting out all over.
Jack, one of the proudest moments I've had as the commissioner here in FSW is when I got the phone calls telling me that 3 of our great talents here in FSW are making it to the next level in professional wrestling.
That was all just last week, fans. We're going to get the big information to you. We got more coming in the show. We're going to kick off right now. We're going to check out our inaugural little visit. Our inaugural visit with the big unit. That's right. He's got his own segment here. It's the Straight Shoot. Let's get to know the big unit.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be a star. Gonna sing my songs and play my guitar. I'm ready. Gonna change the world.
15 years. 15 years is a long time to do anything. But in the business of professional wrestling, 15 years is almost an eternity. 15 years is how long I've been in this business. Started when I was 15 years old. Do the math, 30. When you first get into this business, you love it. You love everything about it. It's magical. You love the energy. That you want to be a star. You know, you get into professional wrestling because you want to be a star. But when you get into the business part of professional wrestling, it's not so glitz and glammy. It's not so stardom. It's not so, especially on the independent scene. And most people, that's exactly where they stay, is on the independent scene. I started in a garage, and I was trained by one of the best, WWE Hall of Famer, Yokozuna. He trained me from the time I started out. I remember walking into the front door of the wrestling school, and there he is. Just tell him, get in the ring, start bumping. And I started bumping, and my head felt like it was going to explode from every time hitting the mat, hitting the mat, hitting the mat. I went home that night, and I thought to myself, man, can I really do this? My neck hurt, my head hurt, my whole body hurt. And I said, yeah, I can actually. I love it. So I kept on going back and going back and going back. And I started doing shows in Las Vegas, fabulous Las Vegas. At the Orleans Arena, I mean, big casinos I'm doing shows at. And this comes where the glitz and glamour part of it is. I was doing these big casino shows. People are coming, loving me, signing autographs. I'm 16 years old now, signing autographs, you know, being a star in Las Vegas, going home with empty pockets. Not a dime in my pocket. And granted, you have to pay your dues in this business before you do anything. You have to. That's what it's all about, is paying your dues. But fast forward 15 years later in this business, I've paid my dues. And anybody that wants to challenge me, try to challenge me. I've done countless wrestling shows for no money. I've been stiffed by numerous promoters claiming that they're going to pay me, and then, oh, we didn't make enough at the gate. Can't do it. And then I got lucky, and I actually worked one good promoter. He knows who he is. And this was before I got to Future Stars of Wrestling. Previous to Future Stars of Wrestling, he knows who he is. I worked his show, and he put some money in my pocket, and it was an awesome show. Well, then, luckily, he was put my name out there, and he was talking and building me up and telling how good I am. Next thing you know, I hear Hulk Hogan's looking for a new little person to be on his new wrestling TV show, Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling. So I said, all right, I'll try it. Sure enough, I got picked. Now I'm on national TV. 15 years it took me to get on national TV on a wrestling show. And it was a time of my life. It was a blast. I loved it. I was with my childhood icon, Hulk Hogan, Brian Knobbs, Pat Tanaka, people I grew up watching. Now they're my mentors. And if any of you saw what happened, obviously, because of being in this business for so long, having, 2 back surgeries, 4 leg surgeries, and countless other injuries, I can't really bump as much as I would like to anymore. So now, Future Stars of Wrestling, that's my home, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's exactly what the name says, the future of this business. But the future of this business can't get anywhere because this business tends to like to hold you back if you're not 6'5", 300 pounds. So if you tune in every week to my show, Straight Shooting with Big Unit, I'm going to tell you exactly how this business is. No holds barred. I'm not going to bite my tongue, anything. You just tune into my show, you're going to hear it straight from my mouth. If you want to, send me some questions on the Facebook page, the Future Stars of Wrestling Facebook page. Send me some questions. I'll cover them here. I got no reason not to. I'll tell you exactly what I think of the product. I'll tell you what I think of the shows. I'll tell you what I think of the workers. And I'll tell you what I think of Vince McMahon passing up on a lot of good talent just because they're not big enough or they're not football players. So tune in. Future Stars of Wrestling, Straight Shooting with the Big Unit. Tune in and you'll hear all about it.
Fans, welcome back to Lowdown. But at this time, I want to take a moment to ask a question that I know that fans are kind of asking themselves.
What is it?
What in the world is the reason Big Unit has a segment here on Lowdown? This guy is a blithering idiot. Now, you let me say what I want to say here. This guy is kind of short on brain power. On a recent episode of Octane, he says to you in the opening and the close, he said, women, speaking of Tara Calloway, should be cooking, should be cleaning, and should be taking care of their man. Well, Big Unit, it seems to me Tara Calloway was really cooking very well that night in getting rid of you. She cleaned you up right out of that match until you were no longer an issue in that ring. And then as far as taking care of her man, isn't that exactly what she was doing? Tara Calloway was cooking, cleaning, and taking care of her man. The only problem for you is it was right here in FSW.
Man, I thought he was just talking about he didn't get no sandwich for coming down and hosting the show with me, Dino. I'm glad that you cleared that up, man. We got in depth on it. I'm really going to have to talk to that guy and figure out where his mind's at. Wow. Fans, you know what we really got to bring up is a sellout crowd, Dino. That's right there at Sam's Town. He sold it out. That means if you got there late, you couldn't get in. So don't get there late next time. We're coming back in October, but wasn't that a beautiful house there? It was full of people.
Jack Simon, when I wasn't dealing with the issues behind the scenes there in the dressing room, I was out in the audience milling around, looking around. I was so elated. I was so proud. It was the greatest day for me as the commissioner here in FSW. Every one of us here in FSW was so proud. We thank you, fans. You followed us. We've kept you interested. You have been great fans, and we're going to continue to bring you the best in professional wrestling. This is no gob. This is real, real, real. We intend on keeping you fans the best fans in the world, as you already are.
That's right, Dino, and I got to tell you, I was so proud to be there. My moment, and the biggest moment ever, the cage, and then the big man come tumbling down. We just saw that on High Octane, and you can check it out a little more on the YouTube channel right here where the Lowdown is. Remember, the Lowdown's going to be popping out at you every week, right around the weekend time, to get you up on the information at FSW. We got another segment. That's right, we got Dino's Diner coming up. Fans, you got to stick around for it. The first Dino's Diner right here on the Lowdown.
1 minute, Jack. Before we continue to the next segment of Dino's Diner, can we fire this cameraman?
Why?
Because he's got you in the segment when I'm talking. Like, remember that time I wanted my own microphone? I want my own camera. What's going on here in FSW?
Oh, my God. Man, you got your own segment in the show. As a matter of fact, before he says anything else, let's go to it now.
FSW fans on YouTube, welcome to the first ever Dino's New York City Diner, a segment here on Lowdown. And in the very first show, I knew I had to bring them out, the legends themselves, the Vegas originals, the legendary Rush, not to be outdone by the real legend here, Jason Partain. You know, you guys, we've had our ups and downs throughout the years. I was your manager at one time. You and I have been at each other's throats for a lot of years. And, you know, throughout it all, I believe we've had a mutual respect for one another, even though we don't really agree.
Yeah, I think we definitely have, you know, kind of ridden up and down the hills in Vegas in the last dozen years from a few different federations. Now here in FSW, yes.
Well, yeah, and that being said, I just want to say it really is interesting to me to have you guys here because we never really get down to the nitty-gritty. We've done things in the ring. We don't really meet, you know, on the same level.
Whatever you want to ask, Dino.
All right, Rush.
This is the forum.
Basically, I want to ask you, you know, recently we saw on WWE, CM Punk was saying, why are you saying I turned my back on my fans? But you did. You really turned your back on your fans. The fans were crying. They threw your shirt that they've been wearing since the day you started here. They threw it into the ring at you. Right. I mean, why? You come out, you've developed this cocky, arrogant, SOB attitude. You just don't seem to care about anything or anyone. What's gotten into you, Rush?
Well, just because you referenced CM Punk, I don't really think that I did anything different. I was always the same guy, you know. All the difference was eventually the fans didn't like the way I was acting, I guess, before. So whenever I had a little match at Sam's Town and against the current FSW champion and with the Tyshawn Prince, kind of opened my eyes and kind of saw the light. And I realized that the fans weren't really in it for anybody but themselves. And Lex, I go out there and slap the hands. What does that get you? You're doing it now. What does it get you? Do you feel better about yourself? You sleep better at night? You probably don't. More friends.
Well, the fact of the matter is it really doesn't matter to professional wrestlers whether the fans cheer or boo, basically, as long as they do something. You know that. That's something I don't have to tell you, Rush. But I want to know, deep in your heart, how in the world did you feel after letting so many people down? When you left the arena that night and you went home to your family, did you have a guilty feeling about it? I mean, what is it you think when you come to the FSW arena now that fans couldn't stand you anymore? They don't even want to see you here anymore.
Well, let me ask or answer your first question. How did I go home that night? Was I hurt? Was that your question?
Well, did you feel that you had really let everyone down?
Absolutely not. I loved it. It was the greatest thing in the world. You know what? Whenever I seen the little kids crying, every time I watch it, I laugh my ass off.
All right, legendary Rush. Let me ask you something here now. Exactly. What was your thought process when this happened? What were you thinking that you said, you know what, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to be a different person?
It kind of got to the point, you know, at the time I was associated with a guy who was more of the mentally challenged, if you will. And so I'd be paired with, not by my choosing, by one of the upper hierarchies of FSW, Rocky T. And I'm not really sure why that was orchestrated that way. And so I brought this guy in, he waited the fans and blah, blah, blah. And eventually got to the point, if you really realize, if you watch the match at Sam's Town, Dino, with me versus Tyshawn Prince, I think Tyshawn Prince just pretty much just ran through everybody here in FSW. But guess what? He didn't pin Rush. No, he didn't pin me. You know what? And actually, I didn't tap out either. Watch the match. I had a less fortunate person on the outside of the ring throw a towel in. Okay, that's how the match stopped. Not because he beat me. So just keep that record. You know, it's been over a year since my shoulder's been pinned to the mat. Just so you know. Just mark the records books for that. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you something, Rush. What you're saying, I have to you know, I don't like it, but I have to agree with you. I think you have a very valid point. And as commissioner here in FSW, I think I will, in fact, look into that, and maybe you're up for a title match against Tyshawn Prince in the near future.
And for the record, the guy who did pin me about a year ago, actually it's been over a year now, was at Samstown, and it was Kenny King. And where's Kenny King at now, Dino?
Well, Kenny King is on the scene here at FSW. He's with TNA. He's also been with Ring of Honor recently, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him back here. And maybe at that point,
Rush made him. That's what happened.
Kenny King.
Rush
Look on click on Kenny King's Wikipedia page and see who trained Kenny King. There you go.
What happens after that? Where does he go?
Thank
you, Rush. I would have been, if I was Kenny, I'd say thank you, Rush.
Jason Partain. It's no secret in professional wrestling, we bring all the intensity and emotion to the ring every time we go in against an opponent.
We do.
Well, I know you do. Every one of us does. But I want to ask you something, because you seem to go a little bit, hell, you go a lot overboard, Jason Partain. You like to hurt, you like to destroy. Recently at Samstown, what did you do? A fan came to the ring who shouldn't have been there. We agree.
He asked for an autograph, Dino. He asked for an autograph, and then Jason gave him a footprint. Okay, that's what happened.
I heard him.
And are you proud of yourself? Are you proud, Jason Partain, that you went ahead and hit a fan, not an athlete, not a professional, heck, a senior citizen, for God's sakes? How do you feel?
Did you get him his ticket? Did you get him his ticket?
Hey, we feel horrible, man. Horrible.
I felt so bad.
Oh, I actually lost sleep that night. I was just like dreaming, like, what did I do? Bull crap! I don't care, bro. I don't care. I had you, didn't I? You thought I really cared, didn't you? Stupid.
Well, Jason, knowing you the way I've known you, dealing with you in the past, and I know how volatile you are, and how at the drop of a hat you'll just turn on anything or anyone.
Let me ask you a question, you know, since you're the man in charge now, apparently, you and Rocky Q or whatever his name is. My question is, in FSW right now, who currently is beating the crap out of more people and knocking more people's in the dirt and just completely running everything, running FSW now? Who is doing it more than me and this guy right here?
I have to give you credit where it's due. It's you guys, the Vegas Originals. You guys have been like running roughshod over everything. My problem is when the match is over, you guys just don't leave the ring, get the Duke, and go back to the dressing room, get dressed, and go the hell home. You continue to annihilate everybody.
Hold on.
And then you guys recently...
Just because the match is over doesn't mean that we're done, okay?
Don't forget that. Actually.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. When that bell rings and you guys get the Duke and the referee raises your hand or raises your opponent's hand, the match is over. But then that blithering idiot of a big unit manager that you have goes ahead and puts his hands...
Watch it. Remember, it's not about winning and losing. It's about how much ass we can beat in the process thereof.
You know, I've had enough of this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the very first episode of Dino's New York City Diner right here on YouTube. We hope to see you every week, and I guarantee you I'll have some great guests for you in the near future. I'm done with these guys. You can't get a straight answer out of these guys.
Where's the food?
Guys, get out of here. Just leave. I'm done with you guys. Just leave. Go. Go. All right, I'm out of here.
We leave when we want to leave. Haven't you figured that out? We just discussed it. We leave when we want to leave. That's what I thought.
I'm out of this.
right like a pony. Don't do it. Seriously.
Woo, you really dished that hash there, Dino, huh? Dino's Diner, you can check it out every week right here. He's going to have different guests. I know you got a lot of people coming up. I can't wait to see it, all the champs. And even some of the newcomers here, some of the guys that are really struggling. I can't wait to see more of Dino's Diner.
Well, I feel that everybody deserves a chance to get on camera and speak their piece, speak their mind, whether they're experienced wrestlers, managers, referees, or people that are just starting out in the industry, because I feel they need to be heard from too, because these are really the unsung heroes of tomorrow here in professional wrestling.
Yeah, you know what? I like how you say that. Speak their mind, speak their piece. And you know who's doing a lot of talking right now, and it's right down there. You can see it on our very own channel. It's Adrenaline Rush. That's our Arizona TV show. It's on in Phoenix every Saturday night. And, you know, I just saw Dexter Verity on there. I also saw him on High Octane. But this guy, he's doing a lot of mouthing off. He's Bible thumping, as you call it out there. And you know who he ended up messing around with, and he caught the tail end of it?
I saw it.
Yeah.
But you know.
Mike Delight right there. You know, don't mess with the dress, you know. You saw it. I saw it. The guy, oh, man. I'm telling you, don't come preaching around here. Not in Las Vegas.
Well, you know, people that are God-fearing, Bible-reading, I appreciate that. I can respect that. But
Yeah,
when you
look at the show right before High Octane.
When you incorporate that into professional wrestling, sometimes it's not the right thing to do. Is Dexter Verity, from what I've seen, is finding it out sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
But he's making a rush. You know, he's got some followers that we're about to see. It's going to be a little more development there with Dexter Verity. Check it out on Adrenaline Rush, and also all the great people down there. The champion, Tyson Tyler. Boy, we got a lot of T's going around here. Everybody with a T has got a title now. T's, titles, Tyshawn. Oh my gosh, too many.
How about Triple T? Hey, is there a guy that uses the name Triple something or other? Let's Triple T right here in FSW.
You know what? I got to tell you though, I saw that match there at Sam's Town with Dexter Verity, and now he was in there with the Bible, man. He's in there with a weapon, technically. Now, what are you going to do with this, man? These reps have been really getting out of hand.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm not really crazy about seeing someone bring a weapon. And yes, a Bible, any
it
kind
is
of a
big
book,
one.
It can be used as a weapon, and I don't really appreciate that, and I will be addressing that issue. But as far as you mentioned the referees, I really like the referees we here in FSW. They do a very difficult
All of them?
job.
You like them all?
It's a very difficult job, and they do it as best as they can. But there's one thing I've noticed since I've been the commissioner here in FSW. One thing I'm not too crazy about is I haven't seen enough disqualifications.
Me neither.
So I intend on having a closed-door meeting in the next couple of weeks with all the refereeing staff here in FSW, along with Mr. Rocky T. We're going to get together and we're going to all air our feelings, not differences. We're all working here as a cohesive unit in FSW, but we're going to air out our feelings and get the referees' input and maybe try to get them to maybe just not be as tolerant as they've been with some of the things that have been going on here.
Well, you definitely got to bring the updates back to the Lowdown here, because that's what it is. It's the Lowdown, everything FSW. Future stars of wrestling fans, you can catch it on the air in Arizona. It's now going to Cox Channel 7, so check that out down in Arizona. Also, High Octane on the CW, Channel 33 on the dish, 6 on the cable, and that's every Saturday night, 2 a.m. right there in Las Vegas. You can catch both those shows anytime on the YouTube channel, along with this one, the brand new Lowdown. Me, Dino, Dinelli, the big unit, we're going to bring it. Bring it, bring it, bring it. Everything and everybody. And if you got people you want to hear from, you got questions you want to ask, you want to see special guests on this show, well, you have to let us know. You go to Future Stars of Wrestling right there on the Facebook, drop a message, we'll get it, and we'll get on exactly what you want to see. It's all about you, the fans, for taking care of us right here at Future Stars of Wrestling. I had a great show today, Dino.
Me too, Jack Slemmy, but one question. What the hell is Facebook?
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys know. We'll see you there. Lowdown, YouTube channel every week.
Fans, welcome back to Lowdown. But at this time, I want to say something to you, Jack Slammy. I want to ask a question.
I got you on that one.
Does Jack have to be in the show? Thanks, Jack. Thanks. I appreciate when you tell me that. That's what's up. Don't do it, Jack. Don't do it, brother.
I'm telling you, Dino, I have to do it. I have to do it. Oh, wait a minute, fans. Wait a minute. We forgot something, little something. We got to bring it to you. You know what? We love these.
I'm speechless.